Hi guys. So I compiled a list for you over the weekend of non-Chinese based companies because I think the hot topic at the moment is everybody's complaining about getting less and less hours from the Chinese companies that they are working for. So I compiled a nice list of approximately 14 schools. They're not all necessarily European schools, but they're certainly not Chinese based schools. In addition to which, I recently did an interview with a company called Fallibly. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It is a company which is based in the United Kingdom, I believe in London. The majority of their students are located in South America. They're sorry about that. They are business professionals, like they're in marketing, management, and all the students are adults. Um, I must say the lady who did the interview with me was extremely professional, incredibly friendly. The interview was pleasant. Um, I, I was invited to do a demo class, which I will probably do soon. Um, I think it is a really good company for you to apply to. But now, I want to say to you, keep in mind that I'm posting this on our page. So naturally, we will have a lot of applicants applying to this job. Needless to say, everybody will not get offered a position. When applying to the school, always remember that the school caters to only adults and business professionals. So they do require from you an introduction video. So when you make your introduction video and you send them an email, I will add a link to their page for you in my description, together with the other schools which I've or lists that I've compiled for you in my description. When you do the introduction video for Fallibee, keep in mind that the school caters to only adults. So you are not going to use props which are designed for kids and then expect to get offered an interview. Okay, so just saying it because uh, I just felt like you, some people might just use their standard introduction video, and because most teachers on our page apply to schools who cater to kids, usually Chinese schools. Um, just make sure that your introduction video will show to the school that you are capable of teaching adults and that you have some experience doing it. I guess I don't want to be presumptuous, but I assume that that would be the type of teachers that they would be looking for, teachers who specialize or at least have experience in teaching adults, and teachers who have the vocabulary or have used the vocabulary necessary to teach English, which is associated with marketing or business economics and professional trades, for example, lawyers, doctors, and so forth. So when you apply to the school, keep that in mind. Uh, Dress neatly. I would suggest you wear a collar shirt at least, neutral background, and you don't need to put up a show when applying to a school catering for adults. They will listen to your accent, I assume. They will look at your background, which is standard, and they will listen to your grammar. And then they will make an assessment. Uh, with regards to this, to Valaby, I can't vouch for all the other schools. Um, I can say that they've been fair, friendly, professional, and my experience with them thus far has been nothing but pleasant, which is why I happily recommend them to anybody who is interested in looking to teach adults. If you want to get an interview with this company, you need to put your best foot forward, and you need to show them that you have the capacity to be professional. Okay. Um, so you don't need to put up some sort of a show uh, where when you apply to jobs who cater for kids, you would usually like show that you're energetic, TPR, so on. So I'm not saying that you don't use TPR with adults, but you're certainly not going to get employed by a company catering to adults because you're really good with TPR. Probably not one of the things that they would be focusing on. They would be focusing on your accent, your fluency, your vocabulary, and the manner in which you conduct yourself. That's what I would have been looking at if I were employing teachers to teach adults, and I'm sure that's what they do. Once again, this is one school. I'm sure that they have a limit of candidates or vacancies. If you don't get employed, it's not the school's fault, it's not your fault. It is just the way that it goes. And remember, we work in a free market system, and each school has its own discretion. This does not only apply to Fallaby, in my opinion, but not in my opinion. This is really not a subjective fact. This is an objective fact. Each school has its own criteria. The European schools have, UK schools will, and there's nothing unreasonable about that. Um, I suggest once you've gone to the description that you apply for it as soon as possible. Remember, they won't be employing teachers indefinitely. So, when and I know that they're employing at the moment, and I know that they are looking for teachers currently. So, guys, also please, I'm going to ask you a favor on behalf of all the SAFAs. If you get offered an opportunity to work for this school, really, guys, you are representing thousands of other South African teachers. Uh, please don't disappoint us. Um, Represent us very well, make us proud, okay, because already it is a very competitive market. And since we are no longer considered to be a native speaking country, it is becoming increasingly more and more difficult to get good hourly rates. However, part of the reason why I've started this blog is so that we can get together and try to improve our employability collectively. Ubuntu. Okay, so I, I'm never nepotistic. I did send some links to the people who attended the Zoom first. I guess that is the one advantage to attending the Zoom meetings. And I would like to thank everybody who attended the Zoom meeting. You were wonderful. It was extremely productive. We shared some ideas. Some teachers felt comfortable enough to share their success stories, their frustrations with the industry, some of their uncertainties and questions, and we were quite capable of assisting each other. And it was not only constructive, but I also think motivating. And there was a healthy exchange of ideas and information, which is why I encourage us to do it more regularly. However, I think we are all limited by time and availability. So I will try to arrange another Zoom. I'm just not quite sure when I will be able to do that. All right. I just want to mention again, guys, I can help some people, and some people I can't get to. The people who I help, it isn't based on who you are. Right? 99% of the people I help, I don't know from anywhere. Um, so it's just the first person who sends me a message request, and I have free time. So I don't help them based on age, race, religion, or anything. I quite randomly just look into my message request inbox, and then I will respond to them if I have time, and if I have time, then I usually walk. Uh, I help them to start their online teaching journey. Some of them have been teachers for a while, and I help them and encourage them to find new jobs, because some teachers have been online teachers for a long time, and then their companies might have might be going through a dip or a low booking rating, and so booking rates, and then I help them to get interviews for other companies, and I encourage them. We try to be creative and find new ways and new companies to apply for. I was thinking of doing a seminar, because a lot of the companies have been asking me to do the seminar and ask 250 Rand for each teacher to attend the seminar, but I decided against that. I think the reason for starting this blog is because all the information I have to share with you, the intent was to do it for free, and I don't feel comfortable with the idea of holding key seminars and training sessions and charging people money for it. So, whenever I give my opinion on something, I do it because that's what I actually believe, and not because somebody is paying me to do it, which then makes me reliable. And it's probably easier to believe me if I'm not getting paid to say something. Um, yes, that is what I wanted to say, guys. Uh, we are going through a difficult time at the moment. People are losing a lot of their regular bookings. Just keep in mind, there are some really good Vietnamese schools who are employing thousands of teachers from all over the world. A lot of teachers also teach with Japanese schools. So it's not only Europe and South America. There are other Asian countries that, like Hong Kong and Taiwan, and many companies are based in Hong Kong and Taiwan. So I was just focusing on non-Chinese schools at the moment. But I quite literally don't have the time uh, to get an extensive list on Japanese schools. I have some Vietnamese schools on my list, like Anthony, and I know some of the recruiters with Anthony and some other schools, but because the pay rate is low, and I got a bit annoyed with Anthony because they're quite happy to pay an American and a British citizen $14 an hour, and they only want to offer Safas $5 an hour. No, yeah, I am somehow that doesn't sit very well with me. I am not happy with that, so I have decided not to promote them, and I do not refer them to my teachers anymore. I know some extremely talented and qualified teachers on our page with B.Ed degrees, PGCEs, some of them with more than a decade experience, and I want to offer them $5 an hour. No ways. It's just not going to happen. And I am not going to be part of a campaign to exploit the very people that I'm trying to uplift and help. So, again, please don't think that I am judgmental towards anybody who's working for $5 an hour. On the contrary, I have so much respect for you because you chose to rather work for $5 an hour uh, instead of sitting at home and sulking. So, in a way, I respect you a lot more than you might think. And, you know, uh, as a Calvinist Afrikaner, as I often say, we do what we have to do to survive. And what I'm just trying to do is I'm trying to build a market for us where people don't come to us with ridiculous offers like $5 an hour. If I can just somehow increase the average offer to $8 or $10 an hour, I think then I would have made a difference. And but I cannot do it without you. So I'm going to ask you from now on afterwards, please, if any of these videos help you, like I said, I do them for free. So I'm not making you can ask any company that I've advertised for on my blog whether I've ever taken a single cent from them or whether I've asked them for a referral code. I have never done it. But I'm going to ask you guys, if this helps you in some way, please subscribe to my channel, the bottom right hand, and please try to share the videos. My reason for doing that is the bigger the audience, the greater the impact we can have. So if we can get South African teachers to increase our average income by letting them apply to these companies that I'm looking or working so hard to find for you, then it is going to lift up the entire industry. That is my ultimate goal. But I cannot sit the whole day on Facebook pages and share my links and my videos. It's impossible. I can't get to that type of audience. So I'm not asking you to go out of your way unreasonably, but if you can, please try to share it. Like I said, I am not doing this for any particular benefit other than probably a communal benefit. I mean, and one could argue that if I somehow manage to change the average offer that schools make, at least then on our page, then it benefits me as well, but it benefits everybody else at the same time. What else did I want to say? Guys, so yes, remember, if you get a job, the next thing you do, the next day after celebrating the offer, is start applying for another one. We live in very uncertain times, and there's nothing wrong with working for 2 or 3 companies at the same time. All right, look after yourselves. Please be careful. I'm really concerned about the health and well-being of my teachers at the moment, and I know a lot of us are struggling, but remember, the pandemic is real. Please, I am not going to tell you, I don't have a political opinion on anything on my blog, not yet at least. But I do want you to take the necessary precautions to keep yourself safe and your families from harm. Have a good day, guys, and I wish you all the best. Good hunting.